Hey everybody, Angela Loria from the Author Incubator here for an episode of Ask a Bestselling Author. Today I'm joined by bestselling author Tami Stackelhouse. She is the author of Take Back Your Life. And we are going to talk about one of the plagues that authors face. I know you've written one book, working on a second book. Overwhelm. How do you avoid getting so overwhelmed that you don't start or move forward, or that it doesn't hold you back?
Overwhelm has always been a big thing for me. I mean, it just completely shuts me down, right? So if I get into that space, then nothing happens. It's like I hide in my bedroom, close the door, So for me to avoid that is super important. And the main thing that I have learned to do is just focus on what I need to do right now. Don't worry about all of the everything else. Just what do I need to do right now? And your process is so awesome with that because you do give us very specific, special little steps. And so that was a huge help for me. The other thing that was such a big help with my first book, and also it's already happened again with this book, is being in a group where some of the people are ahead of you. I remember when I was writing my first book, I was just coming in, hadn't even started the writing process yet, and there was a group that was about to publish. And all of the questions that they were asking, I wanted to know about, but I was so not there yet. And I remember just feeling so relieved that when I got to that point and I had those questions, you would totally help me the way you were helping them. So
that is exactly why I do that, because people, like, sometimes I worry, like, oh, people are going to be so overwhelmed because they're not even going to understand. The authors that are just 2 months ahead of you are asking these questions that are like Greek.
Yeah.
And my whole goal is that, like, look, there's so many details you aren't going to understand, but when we get there, I'm going to totally sound like I know what I'm talking about.
And it was such a comfort to me because I was able to, at the very beginning, completely put out of my mind all of the stuff that's going to happen when we get to publishing. I just don't even need to think about that. All I have to think about is this, because I knew when we got there, it would all be taken care of. So that is a big thing. The other thing about overwhelm for me is it's quite often an indicator that I'm not taking good care of myself. So things like making sure I get enough sleep and eating the right food and doing all the stuff, because you can't give from an empty place.
Right.
So making sure that I'm filled up and taken care of kind of helps with that too. So.
Yeah. So where are you facing overwhelm right now that is holding you back from making the difference you want to make? Share that in the comments below, like this video, and stay tuned for another episode of Ask a Bestselling Author.